Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. The segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. This is a series of spotlights on remarkable exit planning advisors from across the country. And joining me on this segment is Mitch McCann. He's the founder of McCann Retirement Strategies. Mitch, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Mark. Glad to be here.
Mitch, tell us a little bit about your work and specifically let us know who are the types of clients that you specialize in helping.
Well, I know you had Scott on a little bit ago, really working with exit planning, talking more on a corporate level. I'm more on the personal level. McCann Retirement Strategies is exactly that. I work with people, they tend to find me after all the years of doing this, late 50s, early 60s that really are starting to say, I want to retire. You know, sometimes when you're younger, you don't really say it, but you don't really mean it. So I tend to work with individuals that are trying to develop and really get to that end line.
Right on. So these folks that seek you out, what percentage of business owners are they that even know who to seek out? Like, do business owners know where to begin when it comes time to exit? They're great at what they do. They've been thinking growth. How much time do they really put into the thought of exiting?
Actually, for me, the business owner is not really my target market. The specialty I got into with exit planning was with CPAs. And that's really where this is going for me. My practice for many years was just me, myself, and an assistant. We handle about 125 families, a certain amount of assets we deal with, and most of the work I get has been through word of mouth and referrals. It's pretty robust. I usually end up with 1-2 new accounts a month just from people coming in my door. 3 years ago, my son started with me. So that changed the dynamics of what I do. And we started looking out at other options. And one of the options was networking with CPAs. And I will tell you, I got involved with the exit planning because of my specialty in working with individuals. I tend to use business jargon instead of financial planning jargon. Business planning seems to be really clear. Financial planning, we've made up these words that people get confused with. So I tend to take a business 101 technique to how I talk to people, run your money as a business, income, expense, what's left over, blah, blah, blah. So I tend to Google business words and to put them into my repertoire. And one day I Googled exit planning. So
tell us about these.
Mark, go ahead.
Tell us about these CPAs that you work with. Tell us what's their mindset when it comes to this. Do they know what they need, or what's on their mind when they first reach out to you?
Actually, we're reaching out to them, and as you can imagine, most people are closed-minded. If I came to you and say, "Hey, Mark, I got this great financial planning thing," I've heard that before. I've got this guy for 20 years. I'm happy, right? A CPA's business, if you think about it, and there's a lot of tax professionals and CPAs that are my age, 60 and up. Really, I mean, doing 1040 work is kind of old school. So there's a lot of people that are thinking about exiting, but they don't know how. How do we find that? My son. We started talking to CPAs and started talking about networking with them. And he simply asked them, "What's your exit plan?" And a high percentage of them said, "I don't know. I really don't have a clue." So we started delving into this. Where would this at? And think about this. A CPA would like to make more money, right? They would like to grow the value of their business, and they would like to sell it one day. All exit planning. It's not as big as what Scott was talking about, these big businesses, 25 million, 30 million, but there's so many CPAs out there that should be great networking for people in my business, right? It doesn't seem, Mark, doesn't seem like a financial advisor and a CPA should be working together for their client's best interest.
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen that way in real life, though. Okay. We tend to kind of go our own ways. So we started down this path of really talking to the CPAs about their exit plan, right? And a CPA, how are they scalable? They got to find new clients. They got to offer new services. So the only way they're scalable is with hours and people and fees. I'm scalable with assets. So it started to become a good fit on the exit planning for this small little niche for us because we can help many multiple CPAs. We really can bring a wealth management program to their business and kind of think of it as outsourced wealth management. Turnkey, they don't have to do anything except for trust us, believe in us, we show them how we do our work. And if it's a good fit, then this is a great exit plan for the CPA. They're going to make more money now. They're going to develop more clients. It's scalable. And the fee business that we're in is portable. They can retire with it. So that's what we found. And that's what we're bringing out there to CPAs. I know that was a long-winded explanation, but it's not this big, I'm selling my business for $50 million. It's more, hey, we can help these little guys and we can build a team around us. Maybe we work with 15 or 20 CPAs.
Well, you brought up a great point. It fascinated me when you mentioned, because obviously the fulfillment for a CPA is fulfillment. It's work. And you mentioned bringing in a system. Can you kind of unpack that a little bit for us? Give us maybe a 10,000 foot view of how you turn a CPA to a scalable business?
Anybody in my business that does financial planning would use a company called Navaplan or Money Guide Pro. You can get it on QuickBooks if you're doing, you can get it. Financial planning is really computer driven, right? So we've got the back offices. We got a great broker dealer behind us in Ameriprise that specializes in this. So we bring a team that does all the financial planning and the asset management. And the CPAs aren't skilled in this. They're skilled in really doing rote, work with the 1040 and business planning and stuff like that. They're not skilled at investing, on forward-looking asset management, on driving a retirement plan. They just don't do that, right? And one of the things I found in our business, we're not skilled, truthfully, and not even sometimes legally allowed to talk about it, on the tax part of it, right? So I always found doing the 1040 work, making sure that's done, that's CPA's work. But there's a disconnect when a client on forward-looking, I call doing a pro forma 1040 form for clients. Coming around October, everyone should be looking out to next year about what their taxes look like, so you can adapt and make things happen before, and it really is a year-by-year planning approach. So the CPAs are missing that link, and we are missing their link that can really bring this together with the client. So our job is to, at a high level, is to bring this real foundation of financial planning and asset management to the CPA's clients, and we really cross-pollinate our clientele to get the best of both worlds.
Fascinating insight. Mitch, what inspired you to get into this field? Tell us a little bit about your evolution and how you got started.
Oh, that's a long story. I don't think we have enough time for that. I've been doing this for 34 years, and I got involved with it because I was working at a country club, and there was 3 or 4 stockbrokers that were country club members, and they always had stock tips. So out of college, I thought I wanted to be a stockbroker. Boy, was I dismayed. And then you work your butt off being a stockbroker back in 1985, 86, 87, 88. And then the whole business started morphing into financial planning, financial advisory. So there's been a progression of that over time. And really, my business is very tight. I don't work with younger people on college education planning, stuff like that. I really work with that person that says, Mitch, I want to retire in 2 years, or I'm retiring tomorrow, or I retired yesterday and I just don't have an income plan. That's my client. And it really is a nice mesh with CPAs because it's kind of their client now too. I would think, Mark, people, you're a little bit younger than me, people your age aren't really looking around for somebody to help them do their 1040 work. It's really older people, maybe business-wise you need somebody, but there's a lot of individuals that are retiring, selling their businesses, getting out of, being an engineer, teacher. There's not much there to tax planning, right? So organization 1040 work, it tends to be a boom, boom, boom. And that's kind of a good mix for what I do, if that makes any sense to you.
Mitch, before I ask you my last question, is there anything that I didn't think to ask that you feel is important to share with CPAs listening that are considering exiting their business now or in the near future?
Actually, I don't know if I'm going to answer the question that way. I think that anyone that, if I asked you, Mark, what's your exit plan? You don't have to answer that, but everybody financially should have an exit plan. One day, everybody is going to think about that. And, Chris Snyder's book, Walking to Destiny, with the Exit Planning Institute, I think it should be primary reading because it's simple to understand as a financial planning book. So any CPA should read this. What's your exit plan? You know, a lot of CPAs love their clients. They built them over many, many years. And they really also don't want to give up that relationship to some guy they don't trust or don't like or don't, just because they want some money to sell their practice, right? And a CPA's practice does not have multiple. There's no multiple. They get like one-time sales. And so they tend to work longer out there because they make more money with their income than they would by selling their practice. So I would say anybody, CPAs, anybody who wants to get it into become a SEPA, or anyone looking to really drive their exit plan should read this book and really get involved with an exit planning person, whether it's on an individual level like me on a small level, or a bigger level like when you talk to Scott on the bigger businesses, because a lot of people just don't say, what's my exit plan? They just don't think about it until maybe sometimes it's too late. So we're running into a lot of CPAs that, and tax professionals, right? It might not be exactly a CPA, that are maybe running in and you're just running, they think it's a little bit late, but what's your exit plan? It's a good question.
For folks listening and CPAs listening that resonate with your message and would love to speak with you, how can they find you and connect?
Simply give me a call. I that's how I work. You can just give me a call. You can look up on our website and do that. You can find me on LinkedIn. But the simplest way is to pick up the phone and give me a call.
Terrific. Mitch, I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thanks, Mark. It looks like you got a really good program here going.
That was Mitch McCann. He's the founder of McCann Retirement Strategies. And this segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.